Hello, welcome to my channel Real Knowledge News. I'm really happy to see you in my channel. What is Genesis chapter 3 in the Holy Bible all about? This video aims towards Genesis chapter 3 in the Holy Bible. Well, let us look into Genesis chapter 3, or let us look into the first book of the Holy Bible named Genesis chapter 3. Now, the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God really say, 'You must not eat from any tree in the garden'?" This is what is written in Genesis chapter 3 verse 1, and throughout this video I'll be following the New International Version. I understand some of you are viewing this channel for the very first time. Humble request to you, like and comment for this video. Feel free to visit other videos in Real Knowledge News. Watch the video full till the end. Do not skip any part of it. Talk to me through Facebook and email. Links of the same will be in the description. I would love to hear from you, and I would long to hear from you because your suggestions really help me a lot, motivate me a lot. Hey! Serpent is talking to a woman. Imagine my flaru, that is, my regular viewers know, my flower on fish is talking to me. Is it natural? Well, this is not. A snake is talking to somebody. If I say a Royal Bengal tiger is talking to me, is it natural? Obviously no, not natural. But over here we find the serpent spoke. When the serpent talked, did the woman reply? Had it happened to you, what would you have done? You may reply me through the comment section. I'm really wondering, what would you have done? The woman said to the serpent, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say." So let us see, what did God say? And we can see the woman said to the serpent. That is, she talked back. "You must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die." So this is what God has said, and the woman knew very well that this is God's message. So what was the serpent trying to tell? Well, "You will not certainly die," the serpent said to the woman, "for God knows that when you eat what? Eat from that tree, right?" So this is where the serpent is trying to confuse the woman. What the serpent is trying to tell is that from it your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So over here, the woman is being tempted that if she eats, she will be like God. She will know what is good, what is bad. This is what is written in Genesis chapter 3 verses 2 to 5 of the Holy Bible. For the time being, let's concentrate only on these 5 verses that I just said. Why do you think the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made? God knew serpent would tempt or examine or offer a matter of choice. So obviously the serpent had to be crafty. Because God did not create human beings just to be a robot, but gave a matter of choice. Just like the serpent, many so-called well-wishers can tell us many things what we need to do, but we can choose between God's voice, well-wisher's voice. The serpent was a so-called well-wisher. Initially was trying to act like a well-wisher, but did the woman follow what God said? So-called well-wishers will never allow us to obey God's voice. They will surely try to distract us, like as we saw here, throwing a confusing question. The question is just confusing or confusing, as you may say. But still, it's a question. Who questioned? The so-called well-wisher. To whom? The woman. So now, we also can face situations like this. So, at that time, we need to choose between God's voice or the well-wisher's voice. Whom will we choose? Had it been us, what would we have done? This is the time to think. But God did say. Can we hear God's voice? Today, we can hear many voices, but what about God's voice? Serpent, so-called well-wisher. Tree, object of temptation. So both were required so that the created human beings get the chance to choose and not be just a robot. Like what is programmed, the robot will only do that. No choice, but here's a choice for the human beings. When the woman saw that the tree of, or as per the NIV if I am reading, when the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye and also desirable for gaining. Gaining what? Now, how did the woman understand? Well, for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Genesis chapter 3 verse 6. So, both of them ate. Now what? Then what did God do? Or what did they do? What did they feel like? The fruits appeared A. good, B. pleasing, C. desirable. But it just appeared. Okay? So let us see what is the truth all about. Well, don't judge a book by its cover. A saying by George Eliot. So that's the same thing the woman did. Then the eyes of both of them were opened and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves. Okay. So see over here. They realized something. When did they realize? After disobeying God, they realized something. And then they sewed and together and made covering for themselves, as it's written in Genesis chapter 3 verse 7. It's the same thing that happens to us. If we disobey God, if we disobey God's commandments, God's voice, at times we just feel that we need to cover it up. We need to come up with some excuse. The moment we sin, we come up with some excuse to cover it up. Because we know that we did not do the right thing, that is the reason we need that excuse. That, no, I did it so that can happen. Like this. Just excuse. So to cover it up, they also needed something. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Here comes Lord God. Let us see what Lord God did, or what the man and the woman did. And they hid from the Lord God among the trees of garden. Do you think they are playing hide and seek? No. They just hid. Why did they hid? What made them hide? Lord God is coming and they are hiding? Ridiculous, isn't it? So what made them hide? But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid." Afraid of what? What made him afraid? He heard Lord God, but still, why did he hide? These are some common questions that just comes up. He was afraid because it's written, "I was naked, so I hid," as per Genesis chapter 3 verses 8 to 10. Yet another excuse. Sin pulls us away from God. Just because they disobeyed God, now they are just trying to hide, move away, and they're just trying to cover themselves. And then now what? And he said, "Who told you that you were naked?" He refers to Lord God. To whom? The man and the woman. "Have you eaten from the tree?" Which tree? That I means Lord God. That I commanded you not to eat from? The man said, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from that tree and I ate it." So, she gave. Now, he ate because he wanted to eat, right? She gave, so she ate. She gave, so he ate. How was it possible? Then the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me and I ate." Lol. Serpent deceived, she gave. All excuses. Because they wanted to eat, that is the reason they ate. Maybe they tempted the woman and all that tempted, but still, situation can tell us one particular sin is okay, can help us. But it's our choice to say a yes to God and no to sin. It's our choice to say yes to sin, no to God. It's our choice what will we do. As per Genesis chapter 3 verse 11 to 13. Don't worry, I'll mention the entire verses in the description so you can just go through them at the end of the video. And now, by the way, so the Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, done what? Tempted, right? So the Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and you will eat dust all the days of what? Just see what the Lord did to the serpent. You will crawl, cannot even walk, crawl on belly, eat dust for how long? All of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. So, the offspring of the serpent and offspring of the woman. What will happen? Enmity. What kind of enmity? And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. You will crush your head and you will strike his heel. Genesis chapter 3 verses 14 and 15 claim like this. See, this is what happens nowadays. Snake bite in the heel, as we know. And how a snake is killed? Generally, we find that it's being stampeded. This is the reason, according to the Holy Bible, we see serpents crawling on the ground. People crushing serpents' head with heel. Serpents biting heel. Maybe for days you had queries like why this kind of happens. Why serpent bites on the leg or heel? Why do we use the leg to crush it or something? But here's the reply. To the woman, he means Lord God. To the woman, Lord God said, I, that is Lord God, will make your pains in childbearing very severe, with painful labor. It talks about the labor pain, as we know, for the woman, right? You will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. Claims Genesis chapter 3 verse 16. So, this is why, according to the Bible, we find labor pain, things like delivery, it is so painful. Pain during childbirth. We call many societies as male-dominated society. Biblical reasons for this too. They are just given as I mentioned, right? I'm sure that you are enjoying this video, and if you have any queries, you can definitely get in touch with me. I'll be happy to reply to you, or if queries are that tough or something, I can make a video on that also. To Adam, he said, because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I is Lord God, and Adam, name of that man, right? He is Adam. To Adam, that is the man, he, that is Lord God, okay? Now, what he did? Commanded you, you must not eat from it. It means that particular thing or that particular tree. Cursed is the ground because of you. So now, what is happening? The ground is getting cursed. Because of whom? Because of Adam. Yes. So, you will toil. You will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you. And then what? Just see how Adam was being treated. Okay? The Lord God said he has to toil and eat food. Okay? You will eat the plants of the field by the sweat of your brow. You will eat your food until what? Until you is who? You means the man or the person termed as Adam at that time, but now you means each one of us. And then it says the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you were, and to dust you will return, claims Genesis chapter 3 verses 17 to 19. Right? So see, this is the reason why we need to work so hard for our living. This is the reason we need to work so hard for our earnings, for our wages, for our salaries, so that we can run our families and all. Right? So, this question is also cleared in Genesis chapter 3. Now, I understand that some of the verses may not be that clear to you, but don't worry, I will, as I said, mention the entire thing in the description also. Okay? Adam named his wife Eve because she would become the mother of all the living. The Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. Here is the love of Lord God. That is, he clothed them. And the Lord God said, the man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. So, that is what that tree was all about. And now, what? Will that man stay with the Lord God, or what will he do? What will be his future like? Let's read. He will not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. This talks about life and death. Okay. So this is also a point that we cannot live forever. So here is another thing that we can learn from this chapter. So the Lord God banished him is Adam, from the Garden of Eden to work the ground. Which ground? That is, the Lord God threw him away from the Garden of Eden. Why? So that Adam can work the ground. That ground had been taken, and after he drove the man out, he placed the east side of the Garden of Eden. He placed what? Special security force. Hang on, you will come to know. What did Lord God put so that Adam cannot return back to that garden? Cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life, says Genesis chapter 3 verses 20 to 24. Well, this is what Genesis chapter 3 is all about. I hope you have really enjoyed the video. You may feel free to share the video. Now choice is ours. Either we can follow God, lead a blessed life, or we can be as we are. Choice is ours. So, hope you will choose the good one. Hope you will decide to follow God. May God bless each one of us, drench us with His richest and choicest blessings. Thank you for your time. See you in the next video. Keep in touch. Bye bye.